Hello guys and welcome to today's episode. On today's episode we'll be talking about a common, should I call it myth? But then, anyhow, before I speak about that, let me tell you a backstory about myself a little bit. Alright, so I grew up in a kind of family that, about my father especially, in a kind of family where I was loved, right? And it's not like they just said it with their mouth. Then though, yeah, they didn't just say it, but we could feel it, because my dad would show us, not just tell us. My mom tried her best to, even though she was like this iron woman, right? My brothers, especially my immediate brother, now he doesn't care about me anymore, but then that time, that phase of my life was a phase where I was not starved of emotions or starved of affection or starved of love or starved of attention or anything. And then when I now hear men now say, if you want a woman to pay attention to you, you should ignore her. If you ignore me, I'll forget you. Right? It's not because I would forget you, right? It's just because that has never counted as love for me, because that's not how I have seen love all the days of my life. So you can't just come and then decide that when you see a woman and you want her to get more attracted to you, you want to show her mystery. I'm not used to mystery. If you start doing mystery, that's like for me, right? If you start doing mystery, I'll forget you and literally like get caught out of it, and whatever emotion I was even trying to build before probably die and drain out, right? So why am I telling you this story, right? It's quite easy to just like generalize statements like that, and you'll be shooting yourself in the leg if you first do not understand the kind of lady you are dealing with, right? If you know the lady is someone who has grown up with like full attention from her family, and then you think that if you ignore her for a couple of days, don't give her any attention, she'll come running to Big Daddy, you know, you're joking. Not every lady is like that. So first you want to understand what kind of girl is this? What kind of girl am I dealing with first? Then if she shows herself to be the kind of person who, there are actually girls like that, right? And it's not, I don't know if it's a bad thing or if it's a good thing. I mean, we're in a world where bad is relative, good is relative. The standard is still the Bible, but let's keep that aside, right? So it's still like, just understand if this girl is the kind of person who, if you withdraw, then she becomes more attracted to you. But if she's not that kind of a person, you should probably try and understand who she is before you start acting up. And then she'll be like, don't you love me? You don't call me, you don't say, because that's not what she understands as love. Because in the long run, we've all have understood or like see love in a perspective of how it was in our family, or how we have been shown love right from the onset. So that's why it's kind of difficult for someone who grew up in a violent home to see love in a tender way, because that's not how they've seen love. And that's why it always will take an extra effort from that person before they can see love in a tender way. And that's why when you see people that are probably, they've been treated tenderly like an egg, it's difficult for them to also open up to an aggressive kind of love, of which there's nothing like an aggressive kind of love. Aggression is aggression. There's no love in aggression, right? Yeah, so many things that we've accepted in Africa that if we actually look at them, like it's just basic abuse. But anywho, I still want a roof over my head, so I will not talk about it. Maybe when I can pay my bills, I put a roof over my head, we talk about this. But anyway, I hope you're able to understand that not every girl walking around the streets wants you to ignore her. If you ignore her, you lose her. Not everybody's like that. So pay attention to who you are, understand her, then treat her accordingly, and have a happy home. Anywho, bye.